Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for everyone that's joining us from around the world. Uh, I'd like to welcome everybody today with one of the world's best budgie breeders, Mr. Daniel Lütolf. We are thrilled to have everybody from around the globe, all united by the passion for these wonderful birds. We'd like to thank our sponsors. A huge thank you goes out to Yaku from Vus TV, to the Parrot Association of Southern Africa. We also like to thank Dr. Anton Smit, well-known and respected South African avian vet, the South African National Cage Bird Society, and we also like to thank Farid from Turf Pets Hyper, Ava Bird Club, and Trace Birds for their support. I'm here representing my club, Cape Peninsula Budgie Society, and let's get started, guys. Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Daniel. Are we in the same time zone at the moment?
Yes. It's 10 o'clock. 2 minutes after 10 o'clock here in Switzerland.
2 minutes after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same time zone then.
Yes.
Okay, then, Daniel, maybe just give us a bit of a background from when you started, how you started, why you started, and how did you grow?
Well, I started as a little boy. Some relatives, I hope they join the meeting. I sent them also the link this morning. I was in holiday with them, and after 1 week, they told me I can have one gift, a present for free. And we went to a shopping mall, and they asked, "You want this? No. Do you want this? No." And then, what do you want? They said, "Well, what I really would like to get would be a bird and a cage." And they said, "Well, if that's okay and your parents agree, then we go for it." And I said, yeah, my parents agree. But they did not agree at all, actually. My wife did, and my mother didn't like it at all. And so we went to buy one bird, and the next day they said, "Oh, it's a poor bird, he needs a second one." So we went back to buy a second one. And my parents were not too much amused. And I started to let them fly around at home. And I had no idea. I didn't read a book or anything. I just thought, I don't know. I had Adidas shoes at that moment. It was a blue box with white stripes. And I made a hole inside. And the birds immediately start to go into, and I don't know, 10 days later there was a first egg, and 3 weeks later there were the first baby hatching. And for me it was like a miracle. I didn't know anything at all. I just was learning by doing. And that was the start with budgies. And later I had different other birds. But in my opinion, the birds, the behavior of the birds, the social behavior, is the most interesting. That's why I stopped with the other birds and focused myself on budgies.
Okay, cool. So you were 10 years old at the time?
Yes, when I started, I was 10 years old.
Okay, and as you went along, Daniel, your bloodlines, which bloodlines did you start off with? Where did you get birds from? Things like that.
Well, the first few years, I kept the color budgie, the cowboys, the small ones.
Yeah, POC.
And I was interested to see what's happening by making color combination, violet to Lutino, or things like this. And I didn't know how it works, but I just realized, okay, sometimes this happens, sometimes that happens. And I was fascinated by this. And then in our village, there was a breeder called Huser, and he had big birds. And when I saved some money, I went to buy a bird. Bless you. I went to buy a bird from him and took him back home. And at the beginning, I didn't like it. And 2-3 days later, I asked him whether I can bring the bird back. And he said, "No, you cannot bring it back, but you can buy for half the price a second one." So I bought a second one. I think I bought 40. I paid 40 for the first one and 20 for the second one. And then suddenly in my head, it made a click, and I did not like the small ones anymore. So I started to breed with the big ones, and slowly I make my step. In the first few years, I was not able to get quality. I went to visit different Swiss breeders, and they always sold me their old birds, and they never bred, and it was quite frustrating. And then I met Heinrich Ott. He just passed away last year. We always stayed friends, and he told me, "Look, Daniel, these are my best birds, and these are the lesser youngsters from those good birds. That's what you can buy." And I thought myself, I was a little bit disappointed. That was already after 3-4 years of breeding big budgies that I met him. And they were poor-looking birds, but when you bred with them, the offsprings were far better. And so I started to get good birds. He had birds from England, coming from Ormerod and Sadler, from the West English bloodlines. And later I went all around Europe, and as many people know, I also brought in birds from Pat de Beer and also from Reinhard Molketin, and especially the Pat de Beer birds. They had a massive influence into my birds. So,
Okay.
and nowadays, I do not introduce too much anymore, just to get a little bit fresh bloodline. I try to bring in a dozen of birds every year.
Okay, your birds are right around the world. Quite often there's quite a bit of your birds in Europe and Pakistan and Turkey. And
Yes.
when you bring in, how often do you need to bring in outcrosses from somebody else?
I bring in every year. I think I saw many starts in the past, without mentioning any names. They had good birds for a certain time, but suddenly they were gone. And I think it's always the same. You have 2-3 pairs that produce excellent stuff. You keep them all, and you go on with all the youngsters. And very, very soon, after 4, 5, 6 generation, you have the increase, the inbred coefficient is too high, and then nothing works anymore. I had this experience once with 2 dilute cocks that I got from Heinrich. I swapped them, and they both bred for me, and then I bred the daughters from one cock, I bred back to the other cock, and so on. And the 2-3 generation, the birds looked amazing, and suddenly the whole family was not fertile anymore, or when they had diarrhea, they died and things like this. And I realized that if you breed too close, you double up all the good features, but you also double up all the bad features. And that means it's possible that birds become too weak when you breed too close.
Okay. Do you still currently do any line breeding or inbreeding with any of your birds?
Not specifically. If I would say 70-80% of my pairings are love pairings. I think it's fascinating to see that birds are choosing partners that make sense. That means big cocks are choosing smaller hens, and big hens are rather choosing smaller cocks. So I think nature tries to find a balance. And if I have a very good hen, I try to, I give her three cocks to choose from in a box, and then she can choose one by herself. The same with the cocks. When you have a very good cock, you give 3-4 hens to choose from, and certain cocks only like cinnamon sky blue hens or whatever. So you have to try to give him the same color again. And some cocks take any hen, and some cocks do not accept. Are very picky. It's like with human. It's you see everything.
Yeah, no.
But I to go back to your question, I'm not completely against line breeding, but I do not put cousin to cousin or father to daughter and things like this. I think it's too close, far too close. I stay in family, but far away, and nowadays, more or less, I can pair together what I want, and I always get nice quality out again. They are all a little bit, how do you say, in family, but not too close related.
Okay, not too close related. Okay, cool. We have a question from one of our members. Well, actually, there's 4 questions here. The first question is, what seed mix you use and why? The importance of humidity, importance of humidity and the ideal percentage. Number 3 is the calcium D3 supplements, use or not use. And the 4th question is, if you had to start again, how would you go about it?
Oh, so many questions.
Let's start with
I will forget. I start with number 1, and
okay,
until I finish, I will forget number 2.
Okay, no problem.
Seed mixture. That's how shall I say, a topic not many people are talking about. They're talking about vitamins and supplements and blah blah blah. For me, that's nonsense, because you don't need it. That's a little bit. You need calcium. You need minerals for sure, but all the other stuff that you can buy for lots of money, I used to give it as well. And once you said, you must take this, and then you try, well, you don't see a difference. Then a year later, everybody's buying this product, and everybody buys. And I never could see a really influence from any product. And but the supplement, the seed mixture, that's the most important part of everything. And if you don't have a good seed mixture, you will not get good healthy birds. And I mean, in my shed, it's the seed mixture is the base of the food. 80-90% of what my birds are eating daily is the seed mixture, nothing else. Plus fresh red millet, that's also something very good. And then a little amount of vegetable, fruits, egg food, spinach, carrots, whatever. But that's just a small amount. The base, 80-90%, is seed mixture and red millet. And I have my own one from Daily Nature. I make some publicity. They let me try for 1 year or more than 1 year. I could try every seed, that I knew, to get a balanced diet. And I mean, there's no book written about what birds really need. I just think they know the best what they need. If you have too much Alpist, Glanz, I don't know the English word. What's that? Is it canary seed? I think. Yeah. If you have too much canary seed, what most people have, they put too much canary seed into the seed mixture, then the birds are getting too big and too fat. You don't want that. It's very important. Well, it's the same with us. If we eat too much fat, we are getting too fat. And so seed mixture, to finish, is for me the most important thing in your start to be successful. Take the best you can get. At the moment, I think Daily Nature is not in South Africa, but we are looking for a good guy who is selling it. You can write me afterwards.
Okay, cool.
Question number 2, I already forgot. One question was about what I would not do anymore, or how I would start. I think that was the last one. Let's take this one. I mean, I did what everybody does at the beginning. As a beginner, you buy birds everywhere. You go there, you go there, you get there, you get there. And that all ends up in a mess. And you must try to find one person not too far away that you trust, that you have a good feeling with, and rather sell only birds from 1 or 2 studs, not more. Otherwise, you must know that each stud has his own bacteria and his own viruses. And if you buy from 5-10 different studs, all the viruses are coming together, and you risk to get a big mess because of that. And as I said, try to buy the lesser birds from an excellent stud is better than to buy the best birds from a lesser stud. Did I say it correctly? Because the genetic is always stronger than the what you visually can see. And the other questions I forgot. Please tell me again.
Okay. The importance of humidity and the ideal percentage for the birds in the bird room.
I have no idea. I never do something with humidity.
Okay, cool.
60%. I don't know. I have a hygrometer in my bird room, but I never do anything with humidity. Maybe that's we have different climate. We have hot summers and cold winters. And I also breed at the moment. I'm not breeding. It's the end of the breeding. Just a few pairs. I stopped completely, and I will start again. I hope November, December. We here in Switzerland, we have different climate, but I cannot answer this question. I don't do anything. We have floor heating. I think when you have air condition, I don't like. I think if I would live in a very hot country, I would try to avoid air condition, because air condition is never healthy, neither for the birds, neither for the person that lives in that condition. When I'm in the car and I use air condition, I always feel very sick after short time. And one question we still did not answer. Please tell me.
Okay, the other one was the supplements, calcium, D3. Do you use it? Don't you use it? And is it necessary to use it?
Yes, D3 is the only vitamin I'm using on a regular basis. I have a little pipette, and I give the hens that are laying eggs, or before they are laying eggs, I give them 1 drop into the beak. And an old breeder many years ago, 25 years ago, told me that he will get better egg quality and less shell problem, and I'm sure it helps. And a friend of mine tried this some years ago. I told him to try it, and he gave it by coincidence to the cocks instead to the hens. And he said he had much better fertility after he gave D3 to his cocks. So I don't know. I just give it to my hens. I'm lucky to have built a bird room really made for breeding budgies. And they don't have contact with wild birds, but they're all around the building. There are big windows that I can open, so fresh air is coming in, and there's a lot of sunshine coming in on both floors. And vitamin D3 helps the body to what makes normally sunlight. And if you have no sunlight or not enough sunlight in your bird room, D3 can help. And calcium, I give as a powder into the drinking water, is certainly also important to have enough calcium.
Okay, you've answered the next question that was going to be asked was basically, does your birds get natural sunlight? And if not, what do you use for natural sunlight? You've answered those questions already. Okay. The next question would be, what do you think about joining a club where experienced people can share knowledge with a beginner?
I didn't understand the question. Please say again.
What do you think about when somebody new is coming in, starting to breed budgies, that they should join a club so that they can learn from the experienced breeders to move forward?
Whether they should join a club? Yes, of course they should. But as said before, more important is to find a breeder that is willing to show him how it works. I remember when I was visiting all the breeders when I was a young boy in Switzerland, most of them, they did not want to show me what they feed and things like this. Very strange. I show everybody what I feed. I share my experience, and that you don't make the same faults like I did. And I think it's very important for us to share our experience with younger people, because if no younger people are coming into the hobby has no future. And I think I still like it. I know it's a silly hobby. You don't do anything, how shall I say, sensitive, or you don't do anything good for the world, or you don't make the world better by breeding nice looking budgie. But I don't know why I still like it. It's my passion, and I think it's very important that we know that we are the breeders. We are giving the direction in which way we want to go. And I think in the last few years, well, let's say in the last 50 to 20 years, it was just going bigger, bigger, bigger. And we lost many important features. We are breeding birds, budgies, and not chicken. If most of the birds are sitting on the floor, that's no good. If most of the birds cannot fly, that's no good. We have to make the birds smaller again. And of course, a bird cannot fly as good as a wild bird anymore, because a wild bird gets eaten when he's on the floor, and a bird in the cage, there's no enemy who wants to eat him. So he knows that when he's on the floor, nothing happens. And but still, when we make there are two most important periods of breeding. One is when we make the selection, the birds we want to breed with. So you give the direction how your birds should look like. If you I take an example. If you take birds all with big spots, you always use only birds with big spots. After 4 or 5 generations, you will see your birds are having most of them are having big spots. Just as an example. And the second important step is selection. Well, the first selection the birds, and then selection the right partners to make your birds not getting too big. If you pair 2 big birds together, you will get most of big birds. But I mean, it depends what you want. I don't want to make my birds bigger anymore. I rather want to make them smaller. That's for my big cocks, I always choose smaller hens. And for my big hens, I always choose smaller cocks. You always have to keep in your mind the ideal budgie. For me, the ideal budgie was still the old picture from 2004 or 8. I'm not sure. I don't feel comfortable with the new one. For me, it's too extreme. I told this at the WBO. I tell it here again. I think you cannot go further and further, and you always have to think what are the consequences for the animal. If it's more feathers and bigger and things like this, I think we have to go backwards. It's our responsibility that the birds are happy, and the birds. Sometimes I visit stads and the birds are just sitting like this on the floor or on the perch, and there's no life, there's no sound, and I think, oh, poor birds. Budgies, they like to play. They're very social animals. They have a social behavior, and they are not just babies, also big birds. They want to play. They want to have possibility to fly, to jump around, and you must give them. It's our responsibility that they have enough space, that they have enough toys to play and things like this. Most people just talk about supplements and vitamins, and for me that's nonsense. It's much more important to think about what can we do to make our birds happy. It's not about whether the bird has a bigger head or not. That's nonsense for me. I was also like this thinking for many years, but nowadays I changed my mind completely. And we also have to know that here in Europe we have a very strong animal welfare organization, and I support them. I think it's important. I also stopped. I don't stop completely eating meat, but we were now traveling with the family for 7 weeks, and except once or twice I was eating fish. We were only eating vegetarian food, and we did well. We were eating excellently, but we don't buy meat at home anymore, for example. But that's another story. But going back to the budgies, I think we are the birds cannot choose. We can choose. We can say the direction, what we want. And if we always breed bigger and bigger, the birds cannot sit properly on the perch anymore. They cannot breed naturally anymore, and they do not lay 6-7 eggs anymore. That's all not good. I think you must be careful what you pair together, and always keep the goal in front of you. You want to breed healthy birds that are fertile and that are still nice looking, but the nice looking is just a side effect, I would say. Most important is that they are happy and able to behave the way they are. If you just go bigger and bigger, they lose their natural behave, and that's no good. I was talking a long time, sorry.
No, that's fine. Everybody wants to hear what you've got to say, so it's quite good. Daniel, you'll see on your screen, you'll see a message. People are from around the world are asking questions, and like the feathers.
I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
Okay, feathers, funds, and paws. Thank you for joining us. What are your current breeding cage size, and what size is your nest box?
Oh, I don't know. The nest box, they are big. The cage is 80 centimeter long, 52 deep, and 48 high. That I know. The nest box dimension, I don't know, but they are quite big. And make your box as big as possible. Well, my birds, they are half a year in the box. They lose. They can fly a little bit, but of course not the same. And then the rest of the year they are in the big flights where they really can train their muscles again. And it's just half a year they are in the flight.
Okay, which brings me to the next question. Do you believe in using foraging trays and extra stimulus in the flight cage, like toys and things like that for the birds to play with? To stimulate them in their flight cages?
100%, yes, I do.
So you have toys and little balls.
I have many different stuff. I buy them in cat shops. They have funny things for cats, and my birds are loving to play with them. Little balls and things like this, and things that make noise. And most important is my birds are getting fresh trees not every day, but every week. And in the trees, they love to take a bath when they are wet, or to make like this. And they like making exercise. They love trainings, and if they just have perches, duck, they cannot make a lot. And in the branches, they love to. You will see it afterwards. I just put in some branches this morning, and they all will be on the perches now to play. Or not on perches, in the trees, on the branches, I want to say.
So putting branches is a good thing because they play different sizes.
And I always, when I visit people, I always ask why you don't use branches. And they say, we are afraid you bring in mites or any other insects. Well, mites, there's Exalt, you can fight them easily. And of course, there are different kind of insects coming in, but in my shed, it was never a problem. And there's so much more cons than pros by using branches that I think you have to do it. Well, you should do it. I really recommend don't use any branches that might be disinfected or sprayed. Just natural stuff. But there are a lot of things. My birds are loving willows. I also was trying with eucalyptus from a local gardenery, but I paid a lot of money for them, and my birds did not like it too much, so I stopped. Willows or hazelnut or any trees from apple or things like this, they're loving it.
Okay. Daniel, just one second. I'd like to remind all the viewers that you need to type in hash PVSA or PASA, hash PVSA or PASA. We're giving away 3 books, 3 Budgie books to the member. We'll have a lucky draw at the end of the session, and we're giving away 3 Budgie books to the lucky guy or girl or whoever. And so we're just reminding all the viewers to please typing hashtag PVSA. The other question we had, Daniel, was the aggressive birds. Sometimes you get a cock killing the hen or the hen killing the cock, and likewise they're killing their babies. Is there anything we can do to control the aggressive attitudes of the birds?
I used to have this problem as well. And to make it easy, I stopped feeding any kind of vitamins. And the killing stopped, not completely, but more or less. And I think hens that are killing, or also cock that are killing, they want to breed. And I have one hen, she's an outstanding hen. She's very nice until the chicks are 3-4 weeks old. And then she gets aggressive and she killed babies at my place. And I know she's getting too early back into breeding condition. That's a hormonal problem with her. Normally, the cycles of a hen and also of the cocks are always 2 months. 2 months, 2 months. That's 3.5 weeks, 3 weeks of laying on the eggs and 5-6 weeks of feeding the chicks. So one cycle is 2 months. And those hens or also the cocks are getting too early back into breeding condition. And so I know the hen will do it again. So I take the babies away. And I take the babies away, and some days later she starts laying again, and they are fertile. She's now, I think, 4 years old. She still breeds perfectly, but I would be afraid that she would do it again. You can see that she's getting stressed, and cocks, as I said before, I also was giving vitamins, and I think certain vitamins are like a drug. They are too much excited afterwards. And there was one product, I don't know, it's better I don't tell you the name anymore. That was great to get birds in really top condition, and they were getting very active. But those cocks, many of them destroyed the eggs, or they killed the baby afterwards. They were really gone crazy. And I don't use it anymore. So I think I would say 80% of the problems are solved if you do not feed vitamins into the water anymore. It's dangerous anyway. You can give vitamins in the water in the morning, and after after a few hours, you have to take off the drinkers, because vitamins, instead of getting healthy or supporting the birds, they're getting poisonous very quick. So I think you do good if you leave the vitamins. If you give fresh vegetable, organic grown fruits, things like this, there's a lot of vitamins, and it's natural, and it's not having any side effects, any negative side effects. And some cocks, I also had once, many years ago, one cock that was always aggressive, and I stopped breeding with him because he was, I don't know, he was, something was wrong with him. I was afraid. I mean, every feature we bring into our birds goes on. That means all the good features are going on, but also all the bad features are going on. And I realized that hens that are feather blocking, many times it's not true. I think I know that sometimes their offsprings are feather blocking again. So I think with any birds that are having any nasty behaviors, stop breeding with them. And yeah, there are always enough siblings that are not doing it.
Okay, the next question we have from a viewer is, what is the best form of food to give during the different seasons, or should you stick to one brand? So basically, do you give the same food winter, summer, whatever?
I have two seed mixes from Daily Nature, number 74 and number 67. 74 is a little bit more expensive and has a little bit more, let's say, powerful stuff in it. That's what's given during the breeding season, and in the flights I'm using the 67 to keep the birds a little bit more calm. But there's not much difference. I mean, the whole year birds need to reproduce their feathers, they need to grow, and I think it's wrong to change to go completely down with the feeding. I also, now breeding season is over, but I still feed vegetable with eggs, but not normally I feed 3-4 times a week vegetable with eggs, and now during the breeding when the breeding season is over, I give it probably once or twice. I don't go completely down, but I minimize the power food for the birds.
Okay, Daniel, I think there's a question I've asked you before, but since we have so many new breeders that have come in now, the question on French mold.
That's an every webinar or whatever where I give every talk is about French mold. I always remember many years ago I had a group from I think the Netherlands were here, or England, I'm not sure, far away. They came here and I was talking about French mold, and nobody said something, and I had French mold. It was the end of the breeding season and I was talking about this, and in the evening after some beers, one said, "Oh, I also have a problem with French mold," and Joe said, I also have lots of problem with French mold. And at the end, we were laughing. Everybody said we have French mold. And I think French mold is something most people are afraid to talk about because they think, I do not look enough after my birds, or I'm not clean enough, or anything is wrong with the feeding, whatever. That's nonsense. French mold is a virus. It's produced from Zirco or polyoma virus, or the combination of it. And if that arrives, you have to stop breeding. Point. Clean everything, stimulate your bird for the immune system, and disinfect. You have F10 in South Africa, that's an excellent product. But you cannot fight against the virus, you will lose. The virus is stronger. You can stop the circle, and then a few months later you start breeding again. I get on a regular basis, also now you see 2-3 birds at the moment, and that from the last babies that will lose the feathers or lost the feathers, they will go back, they come back. I know some birds are losing the feathers completely. I never have this virus, but I saw that at other places. Many people are killing the chicks. 2011 we moved the house, and I had suddenly a lot of French molters everywhere. I moved the cages from the old stuff into the new one, in the new bird room. Everything was perfect and clean, but I had lots of French molter. The birds were somehow stressed, so I was forced to breed the year after with those birds that were French molter, and you can breed 2 French molter together, and you get 15 chicks in 3 rounds, and not one of them has French mold. It's really fascinating. And I mean, I always say we should try to support a serious science investigation about French mold. I think if everybody pays, if somebody who gets 500 rings a year, he can pay, I say something, $1 for 1 ring, just 50 cents for 1 ring. And so everybody who gets rings from Budgies pays a certain amount for a serious company to make research about French mold. And I think that would be a very interesting subject to think about. And it's everybody is suffering, and nobody knows what needs to be done. I know it's a virus, and I know how to handle it more or less. it's also important if you have the virus. Don't if you touch the babies and you go to next box, I think you are with your hands you are putting the virus around the stud, and but as I said before, you have to stop and let the birds calm down. And French mold also often arrives in sheds where a lot of birds from different places are coming. So if you buy there and there and there, the risk to get French mold is much higher than when you just buy for one or two sources.
Okay, I think
and if you bring in birds, you should bring them in enough time before breeding. Not if you bring them in during the breeding season, you risk to get French mold from the birds that come in. And the funny thing is, or what you have to know is the virus. You find them on almost every bird. The virus is there. The question is, how does it come to an outbreak? That's it's certainly caused by stress or something like similar.
Okay, I think we'll take one or two more questions, and then we'll move to your exciting birds, and then people can ask questions while we're showing your birds. Next question is okay. Wait, just one more thing. To all of viewers watching, please take note that the system only allows the hashtag PVSA once. So nice try, but it's only going to accept once. So let's wait. Just try it once, and whoever gets lucky will get the books. Daniel, the next question is: how often should we check the eggs and the chicks?
Not too often. You should try not to touch the eggs. That's the best what you can do. With young, unexperienced birds, I put number 1, number 2, number 3. But pairs that I know they work perfectly, I do not touch the eggs, and after a certain time I check them maybe every 3-4 days, and if there's a dead one or I can see this one is certainly clear, not fertile, I take it away. But many people are touching the eggs every day and look inside, and that's certainly no good. Just leave it. The hens are doing it everything perfectly.
Okay, the question from Andre Nell. How did Andre? What is the problem why do you get dead in shell, and how can you prevent this?
What certainly helps is vitamin D3, 100%. That's my experience, and tell that to everybody. The other thing, dead in shell can have many different reasons. Some hens are not sitting properly on the eggs. Sometimes it's possibly that at night there's a panic in the bird room, so many hens are going out, and I have a night light, so it's not completely dark in my bird room. That helps. Since I have this, I have less dead in shell hens eggs, and I think many, or if you are too close related, you get dead in shell. That's why I told you not to. In all the books, it's written make line breeding, and many people are thinking I'm doing very close related combination. Believe what you want, I don't do it because I want fertility, and if you're too close related, you risk to get dead in shell.
Okay, another question from Andres. He wants to know why do you bring in let me see here. Why do you bring in new birds, and if it has anything to do with inbreeding and line breeding, and do you use big flights or small big flight instead of a smallish aviary?
I have
first
my
question,
baby. Yes.
First question was why do you bring in outcrossers? Just to prevent line breeding and inbreeding?
Just to get, I already answered this. Just to get enough fresh blood. They don't have to be outstanding birds. They just need to come from a good, solid family without any faults.
Okay, and the next question is: would you rather have a big flight or smallish aviary? With a bird flying, should the flight be bigger or should it be smaller?
Bigger.
Bigger, the better.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I think let's move to your birds, Daniel, and then as people are viewing your birds and they got any further questions, they can ask, and then we'll try and get through to as many as we can. We don't have too much time.
What time is it? What time is it now?
We are live now for 46 minutes.
Okay, perfectly.
And I'm just saying, all the questions that are coming through, I'm unfortunately not able to ask all the questions, but we'll get through as many as possible.
Okay, so I try to.
No, 100%. You've done a fantastic job. It's on my side that I'm not able to ask all the questions.
So okay, I go now to the bird room. So we can have a quick look from the outside.
Nice. Nice sunny day. Okay, we lost the signal for a moment. We'll wait for Daniel to come back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're back.
That's our house. That's the bird house. That's our car. And yeah, you see, now today it's sunny and there's a lot of sunshine coming into the bird room. That's very important. Okay, let's go in. So, as you can see, breeding season is almost finished. Normally there are lots of cages here, lots of nest boxes. There's just one left, and in the other ones here, there are just the last babies. I will let them grow. They're still with the parents. It's a golden-faced cock. It's a golden-faced pair. Unfortunately, I did not get the colors I wanted. I like golden-face. Can you see them clearly, the birds?
Yes, we can see them clearly. We see them clearly.
So, on my screen, they're not really clear. I hope you can see them better. I can show you. These are two, for me, perfect birds. They fly well. You see, that's the hen. The same with the cock. There's no faults. They've had a perfect. That's the pairing I like mostly. There's no, you don't have to balance anything because both birds are perfect. Okay, and the chicks here, well, it's too early to see something. They're not all own ones. They're also from other pairs. When I change something, look, I write it directly on the outside of the nest box. This pair, I also have to put them down. They bred successfully. Just to explain, she's a smaller hen or average hen, and he's quite a big cock. It's a problem with the camera. I cannot go too close.
That's fine. We can see the birds. We can see the birds perfect, Daniel.
Yeah, but I want to see the cock to explain. Well, you don't see it properly. The cock is much bigger than the hen. For me, the cock is too big. Okay, for my ideal. Oh, he doesn't want to show. That's why I let him have a smaller hen. Wait, that's not the good. Let's see. This pair, for example, they also just finished their last round. There's just one or two own chicks. The other one are from other pairs. That's a dilute. That's a recessive. Just one. This is also. These are for me also two perfect birds, both in show quality. The cock looks strange because he was on this. Well, I was thinking about showing him last weekend at the European show, but well, he was not good enough in condition. But just to show you, these are for me again two perfect birds that are complete, and there's nothing to change. I like the hen a lot. I like the cock a lot, and yeah. That's to balance birds. Yeah, when we go to this box here, let me see. This cock is a split recessive. It's a violet mauve, split recessive. And if you see the hen, she's much smaller. And I want the cock for me is too big. Okay, but they bred some very, very nice chicks. And the hen is quite average, but she flies perfectly. She's a good mother, nice color combination. But you see, for me, he's too big, and she's actually for the ideal budgie, she's too small. So I can balance, and about half of the chicks that they bred, I would call to be. Can you see the difference in feather and size?
Yes.
I would never pair a bird like him to a big hen. Then you get monster birds. That doesn't make sense. Anything else is the soft food. You see, there are different carrots. I can see cucumber. I can see parsley, fenugreek. Well, I don't know all the English ingredients. And there's also soil inside, and you cannot see the eggs. They were fresh boiled eggs. A friend of mine has chicken, and you see, that's my fridge. These are all eggs from happy chicken. My children that's the only eggs that my kids are eating, and that's
Daniel.
Yes?
Daniel, your finger is blocking the camera.
Now it's better?
Yeah, better.
Okay. You see, that's the vegetable for the soft food for tomorrow. I put it in the fridge, and I do not add eggs. These eggs over there, they are boiled. I will feed them. I will feed this tomorrow. So in the fridge, that can stay perfectly.
Okay.
Going back to the pairings, this pair had very nice chicks. I was thinking about showing him two recessives. I mean, if you want to make any progress in any color, you always have to use your best birds. And the best birds, the biggest birds, are usually grays and gray-greens. While these two birds, the hen is too dark marked, but otherwise you also see a showbird. Again, there's nothing to balance because both birds are feather perfect. But I stopped now breeding with them. What else do we have here? That's also a pair that bred well. Now we just came home from our long journey. We were traveling 7 weeks with the whole family by train through Europe. And then I came home last Wednesday night, and the kids came home on last Sunday. Now there's a lot of things to be done in the bird room. I need to take notes from all the birds and ring numbers from the babies. Wait, I want to show you the hen. That's again the face I like to see. Very important is that from the side you must see the eye. That's a topic I want to talk about
Daniel?
afterwards as well. So here are down here. Wait, there are some birds. Now in the next few days, there are birds I've taken out for selling. Now I have to, yeah, with my breeding records, I need to see what needs to be taken, what needs to stay, and what can be sold. In here, these are the last baby birds with their parents. Just so they are always the fathers with some of the babies. The Coble cock there at the end is the father of none of them, but I know that he's still feeding the chicks. This baby is a daughter from the European show winner hen from last year. I know by heart. He's the father. Well, they're going around. You see, there are little flights. I took out this one. I've taken out these ones, so they have like little flights where they can stay in. And I think it makes sense to keep them together in the first period with the parents, with their fathers. And very important is that they have fresh water to drink. And I think for the birds, you see they are eating now from the soft food. It's important to learn from the adults. Budgies, like humans, they learn from the others, and they see what the other ones are doing. You see? And that's why I like to breed with tame birds. If you have tame birds, the offsprings are tame again. That's a very nice family. They are coming. Some of them are coming from him, but not all of them. But I bred a lot of very, very good Spangles this year. So that's the kindergarten where they stay. I don't know, 2-3 weeks. And when they finished here, when they are able to fly and eat for themselves, they are going to the next box. So in here, these 2 flights, they are, that's the kindergarten for the older ones, let's say. And as I said before, I've taken out willow branches, and they like to play with it. And that's something important as well. Here on the floor, this Lutino baby is eating, I don't know whether you can see it.
Yeah, some black brown thing.
That's a fonio paddy. It comes from Uganda.
Unfortunately, we can't get it. We can't get that product in South Africa. We have to buy it via European countries.
It's a fantastic product, and what's also important. Yes, go on.
We do have fonio here, but it's white in color, not like that. What you feeding your birds?
Well, my birds are loving it all the time. That's why they are getting it all the time. And here, that's a different kind of grit. And mineral block, I also need to have all the time. And here is just water. I change this several days a time. It's several times a day. Here is a nice young baby hen, Olive. I'm playing with dark factor bird. That's a cock that's finished breeding, golden face. So here is the kindergarten, and some of those hens in here, they finished breeding. They're also in the kindergarten. if I put them back into the big flight immediately, it's too stressful for the birds, for the hens, because other cocks might attack them. I don't know what makes the difference. I think hens, I don't know whether it's a smell or whatever, but sometimes if you put birds back to the flight, all the cocks are chasing those hens. And that's a delicate period in the life of a bird, because after breeding, they are weak, the hens, and they need time to recover. And that's also a nice pair with the last birds. Unfortunately, I already promised this bird. Now, there are some nice babies coming from this cock, from this pair. Again, these are, well, the hen looks not nice at the moment, but she's a very nice hen for sure as well. And he's a super cock, especially in the show cage. He goes back to the European show winner some years ago, if somebody is remembering him. That's a big boy. Well, not easy to see. Down here are some birds I've taken out. You can see he's not feeling 100%. The other ones, these were birds that I thought they're not looking okay, and the other ones up here, they are recovering, and this one is still feeling weak. I need to try to give him some medication. So if you have a sick bird, you have to isolate him immediately. Otherwise, you risk that all the other birds are getting sick as well. So the first step is always to isolate them. In here again is kindergarten. Wait. Oh, that's a nice pair. To explain something, the cock is a very good bird, but on the limit, I would say. And that's why I paired him to a smaller hen again. So this cock is far bigger than the hen. That's also, if you have a big bird, pair him to a smaller one. Up here are some birds, that I might show next weekend. Let me take this hen here. I want to show them. And now she's a baby hen, just about 5-6 months old, and nothing special. Well, I like she looks very nice in the nest box, but she found a boyfriend. That's this big cock. You see, they are. I'm not breeding now, but I took a note for myself to remember that I want to pair them together. He's on the limit, I would say, rather big, and she's a little tiny short set of hen. And that's a perfect combination. And as I said before, many times birds are choosing the opposite. They normally not big with big. It's often big with small and small with big. I'm not sure whether you understand what I mean.
Yeah, no, 100%. We got a couple of questions coming in, Daniel.
Yes, go on.
Okay, I've got one comment here that says, Todd tells me that he does bring in exactly the same fonio paddy like Daniel Lütolf. So we do have it available in South Africa now. Questions? Anybody got any questions?
Go for the fonio paddy. It's a fantastic product. My birds are loving it. That's 100% a good product. Everybody likes it.
Okay, we've got a question here, Daniel. Would you recommend any books regarding health, diets, and getting to know budgies?
Oh, well, one of the best books that is still around. Look to explain the behavior just quick. This hen, I need to take her out. I want to show her actually, but she's already getting in breeding condition again.
Oh,
That's
yes.
that's why she's getting aggressive. Going back to your question about the books, I don't know. I did not read a lot of books. I think you learn more if you go and visit people. Every single visit you're doing, you can learn something. Maybe it's just that you learn what you should not do. But I would recommend to everybody make as many visits
Good
as
comment.
possible.
Good comment. Oh, we've got a nice comment here. Daniel is very passionate, very inspiring. He really has a deep understanding of the birds of the bird needs. That's a comment from one of the viewers. Can a bird recover from French mold?
Yes, you can. Even if the bird is not, how shall I say? As I said, you can use French mold birds for breeding. At the moment, I don't have one, but I was breeding successfully with French mold birds, and old offsprings were the perfect again. Don't ask me how it works, but I know it works. And most people think, with French mold birds, they are lost. There's no chance to breed with them, but that's wrong. You can breed perfectly with birds that were suffering on French mold.
And there's nothing you can do to prevent French mold from coming into your flock?
Well, as I said before, if I look this hen here, this sky blue hen, she also lost some feathers, but she's a single bird from a super pedigree. No matter whether she will get the feathers back or not, I will use her. If I would have three sisters in similar quality, I would not use her. But to continue with the bloodline, I need to breed with her. And you have the French mold. You have the French mold in your shot, for sure. Everybody, just do not overcrowd your birds. Make the birds feel happy, and I think that's the best prevention for French mold. When birds are healthy, it's about the immune system. They need to have a strong immune system. If this is okay, you will have a good breeding season.
Okay, then you do not have to necessarily separate a French mold bird from the rest of your flock?
No, I don't do it. There's a doctor in Germany. His name is Marcellus Bürkle. He told me, and I believe in that if you have a small amount of French mold birds in your shed, you get like a sort of vaccination. Do you understand this?
Yeah. So they basically build immune system.
Exactly. Look, this I think that's the kindergarten. The old baby birds. Well, this hen, for example, she just stopped breeding, but all the other ones are babies. And there's one. Look, there's another one. You see that the spangle there? She also lost the feathers.
Yes.
But if I touch them, I checked, all the feathers are going back, and in a few weeks, you cannot see the difference anymore. But as I said, there's no reason not to breed with them from my side. They will recover, and even if they don't recover, they can reproduce nice, healthy chicks. Of course, they're also French mold birds. If they have a strong, serious illness, it also can affect the organs, and then, the bird will die, and there's no sense to use it. But if a bird is otherwise 100% healthy, don't be afraid to breed with them.
Okay. Okay, then we've got another question, I think, back to when you were speaking about your vitamins, like the vitamin D3 and any of your other vitamins. Do you give it in a liquid form in your water, or do you give it in your soft food?
I can show you.
Okay.
Wait just a moment. She bred very, very nice chicks. And she's a perfect bird for me. Not too big. She flies very well. She bred very well. That's what you have to go for. Now, going back to your question about the vitamins. There's a Lutino pair at the end. And yeah, that's the product I'm using. And to show, wait. So wait. I give 2-3 times to a hen, 2-3 drops into the mouth.
Also directly to the birds. You're not giving it via water or soft food or anything.
No, I give it directly into the mouth.
Okay,
Other question?
Alessandro wants to know if you can show us the golden face, gray cock, and his latest babies.
Which golden face, gray cock? Oh, he's downstairs. The one that was there. There's one baby in here. Let me see whether I can get him. He grew up in our living room. Where is he? Let me see. Well, this one. Wait. Where is he? Oh. So that's a golden face, double factor, violet, dominant pipe. Unfortunately, he just lost the tail. He's completely tame, like his father. His father is downstairs, and this chick here is from the last round. You see a typical golden face. The feathers are going through. The nice dark yellow feathers are coming now. And that's a funny bird. He's really very interested what we are doing. He likes to eat from our table when he's in our room. And yes, that's a bird everybody wants to buy, but he's not for sale. He's completely tame, and he's one of the birds from our daughter niece. He took him already as a baby, always in our living room, and he will die here. But hopefully he will breed some nice chicks. There are more golden face downstairs, but I would call him to be a perfect bird.
Okay, Daniel, we've got another question.
Look, that's interesting to see the social behavior. You see, I cannot go too close, but the hen is jealous. The lacewing hen, she obviously wants to breed, and she's jealous with the other hen. You see, I think it's very interesting to see the social contacts that Budgie has. The cock chose this hen, but she also would like to be with the cock. Well, it would take too much time to show that. And I mean, you see in flight like this, the birds still can fly a little bit, not perfectly, but I think it's good after the breeding season that they can recover before they go into the big flight.
Okay, I got another question, Daniel. It's from Yanni. He wants to know, did you not, in your previous videos, take a hen and put her with 3 cocks and let her choose or let them choose each other?
Would I do that, or what's the question?
The question
I go now downstairs.
Okay.
Go on with the question.
Just be careful, don't slip. The question was, do you not take out 3 cocks for a hen and let the hen choose which cock she wants?
I do that, yes.
Or you still do that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and then the next question we have here is, how does Daniel Lütolf act with major faults in budgies like opaline and heavy flacking? Let me see that. How Daniel acts with major faults in budgies as opaline. Okay, basically, I think the comment is, what do you do when a bird has too much opaline or too much flacking? What do you do with the bird like that? How do you pay him up?
A cock or a hen with opaline, I put into opaline. So he will be split opaline for sure to get proper opaline. And,
so you put 2 opalines together?
Yes, highly recommended. Then you get nice looking opalines when you do so.
Birds has got heavy flacking?
There's no problem to work with it. I cannot say I like it too much, but there's not, for me, it's not a big problem. Just carry it. What does flacking is the melanin is at the wrong place, and that bird can be useful to make, for example, for spangles, to get better marked spangles. And or you can put them into the lutinos or the albinos. It will disappear, but of course genetically it's still around.
Okay.
But just do not double up the fold. Do not put a blackbird into a blackbird, because like this you double up the problem. Never make 2 folds together.
Okay. We have another question here, Mr. Daniel. What is the best age for your bird to start breeding?
Well, normally I would say 8-9 months with hens, and
that's from Ahmad Bahu.
11-12 months with cocks. But I have cocks that on hens they are much earlier already ready to breed. And it's like with human beings, you don't know when. The birds are showing you when they are ready. And when they are ready, you have to take them. And you must study the behavior of the birds. And when they want to breed, you have to let them breed.
Okay. So there's no bird is too young. Thank you for that.
I was twice in Australia, and twice I made budgie trips into the desert or the savannah, and each time I was not able to see any budgie. But the people I was doing the trip with, they told me that into the wild, budgies can start breeding with 8, 9, 10 weeks. That means before the molt. So budgies are really amazing animals. They can start breeding very, very early.
Would you recommend that?
No, but I also I have a baby here. Where is it? Now it's upstairs. It's not here.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
I have a baby here from a pair that I took the egg out of the baby flight. I don't know who was the father and the mother, but it must have been 2 babies. and they became very, very nice, a very nice baby, and the parents were just babies.
Okay. Okay, the next question is, what is your opinion about using artificial insemination in Bajariga, especially in the cases where we want to preserve an important bloodline, but the cock or hen has an injury and cannot mate naturally?
Well, that's something else. If a bird is injured, there's no reason not to do it. But in general, if you have a bird that is not able to breed naturally, I mean, what do you get? You get more birds that are not able to breed naturally. And that's, for me, a complete nonsense. And, sometimes people come to my place and they want to buy just one bird, any supercock. And I know nothing else. And I know exactly what's their intention. Their intention is to buy a supercock, make artificially insemination, and breed 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 chicks out of it. And that's, in my opinion, very, very stupid. Because there's no reason to, you cannot, it doesn't make sense to get 50 chicks from a bird. When I have 10 chicks from a bird, or maybe 15, I sell it. Because otherwise you get too close related. Oh, I forgot to take the hen away. So these eggs, I really want to stop breeding now. These eggs will be going to a friend. All these eggs you can see here, they're all from the flight. And I really want to stop breeding now and make a break for some months. Also because I had French mold that came. There's some nice Latino babies.
I just like to want to put a comment here, Daniel. All the viewers that's watching, please don't forget to type in hashtag PVSA in order to win the books that we are going to be giving away.
Look, that's also a pair. I need to take away the hen because I want to stop breeding. The cock is too big for the ideal, and that's why he's paired to a much, much smaller hen. You see the difference? And there are some chicks that are somewhere in between of the two. Last round chicks, the same here.
So we've got one more question here. Do you keep hens and cocks together in the big flight? I think you've already shown us that you do keep them together in the big flight.
Very important question, and I think that's also one of the major faults that many people are doing. Look, how is it in nature? In nature, birds are all together, babies and hens and cocks, and there's no sense at all not to keep them together. I cannot understand why you should not do that, because they learn from each other, and everything else for me doesn't make any sense at all. I'm completely against the fact that to put birds separate. Why? What should be the good thing about? There is nothing. Like in here, I can study the birds, I can watch them, and I can take notes. If I see a certain cock with a certain hen, I write it down for in a few months when I start breeding again. When I saw them mating once, they will do it again in a few months. And I think you lose a lot of how shall I say? You have a big disadvantage if you do not keep the birds together.
Okay. From the discussions we've had here in South Africa, they want to do selective breeding. They don't want hens and cocks to pair up by themselves, because certain birds they don't want to pair up or to be paired up to each other. So that's why some people separate the hens and the cocks.
Yeah, but why not? If you know, I let them breed most of the time, as I said, the way they want, and there are always a few good results. I mean, I breed a lot of chicks, and even if not all the pairings are feather perfect or visually perfect, I think you still get lots of. If you have look this pair here, for example, the Spangle. These are two baby birds. The Spangle gray with this cinnamon opaline dark green. It's well, I don't like to put in cinnamon opalines into the Spangles, but if they stay together, there's no reason not using them. Where are they now? Well, they're gone. But if you have a love pair, normally they really breed well. And if you have from a love pair, let's say 12, 13, 14 chicks, you always can make a selection. And if you only have 2, 3 chicks from a pair, you're more or less forced to keep everything. And if you have enough youngsters, you can make a selection and keep the birds with the features that you really like.
Okay, 100%. Thank you very much, Daniel. I think it's about time for us to wrap up now. We've run out of time, unfortunately. I'd like to thank you, Daniel.
I have an important football match in the afternoon, but for the moment, I'm not forced yet. I can show you a few birds, a few pictures from the flight. These are like an adult cock from last year. The other one is also adult cock. The dark green, he was last year best young bird at the European show. There's a nice hen. She was at the European show as well. That's why they are feather plucked, because they were at the show last weekend. So, any more questions?
Daniel, I think the producers now have just messaged me and told me that we're going to take all the questions down. We will send it through to you for you to answer, and then we'll post it online for all the other questions that needs to be answered. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. We'd like to thank you, Daniel, for your time and your patience and all the questions and showing us your wonderful birds in your bird room. And in turn, we'd also like to thank Jaco from Vus TV, Guy from PVSA, Geraldine, my right-hand man, right-hand woman, and all the people that are involved in making our hobby and helping us expose to the wider world. I hope we can get more members to come in, and I hope everyone has enjoyed the session with us. Daniel, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And oh yes, we have the competition. We're gonna draw it now. Let's give us a few minutes. Shushan Judge. Okay, the winner is Pradeep Bafal Sai Riz. Sorry if I couldn't pronounce your name correctly, Pradeep. But yeah, we'll try and get the books through to you. Thank you once again to everyone and to everyone who helped us set up everything. Really appreciate it, and hope to see you guys in the future.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.